Hey everybody, welcome to Jen Lowry Writes, where tonight I'm going to start plotting out for my next novel. So if you caught a couple of videos before this one, I showed the book cover that I've been playing around with for Countdown to Christmas, and it is book 2 in the Crystal Falls romance. So I have built this whole town of Crystal Falls, North Carolina. And when I started writing even my serial killer book this summer, The Sunday Killer, in the first NaNoWriMo, Crystal Falls. It's the dark side of Crystal Falls. And this is the light. So a magical Christmas wedding kind of parallels in that world. And I even did some cross characters because I just love doing that. And so this is my book 1, A Magical Christmas Wedding. That came out in October of last year. And so now it's time to start bringing in the joy of the seasons. So I'm going to start plotting tonight, and that's what I'm up to. I'm using my Jamboard. You guys know that I'm addicted to that. And I'm going to create a new one tonight. Super excited. Okay. And then I like my background to be black. And it's going to be called Countdown Christmas. And that is my working title right now. I'm going to go get the 3-act structure image because that's what I use as my backdrop of my sticky notes. I love this picture right here. And I am going to start peppering it with progress. So for Nano, I actually thought I was just going to be working on edits. And then the Lord had other plans. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I will try to write this book. I've already written a trilogy, Bridges, Crossings, and Tides. That's my Lightbearer series. That's my YA time travel romance. Now this is my new adult time travel romance. Both are sweet romances. And I absolutely love, okay, this is Mac, and that's Jordan. This is my girl, Mackenzie. My mom always said if I had a little girl, I needed to name her Mackenzie so she could call her Mac. And so because I have my 2 boys and the girls didn't come into the picture, Mackenzie it is. Did this one for my mom. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go back through and see how I know I want to pick it back up. Kind of like where this one completely left off. So, I love this book. I just love it. Okay. So I have to start off pretty green, pretty the beginning. It could be Mac and Jordan after the honeymoon. And then oops. I already know kind of the inciting incident. So I'll have beginning chapters there. I already know what the inciting incident is, so that one's going to be orange. I'm changing the color. And then, of course, they've got to have the second thoughts. And it's going to kind of be like, oh no, not again. So this is what I call plotting, this loose plot. Okay, and then Mags is going to be in this one. So if you guys read A Magical Christmas Wedding, Mags, my girl, Margaret. Okay, so I've already got 4 sticky notes. And I'm changing the intensity of them. I do like a color coding system for that. And now and then we have obstacles that are going to be standing in their way. And we don't want that to happen. Okay. And so there's the disaster. And then we have our crisis. That's if you do like the save the cat stuff, it's kind of like that dark time of the night. And it's still all and then they have their okay. And I'm going to go there. And now I'm at my obstacle, the wrap up, and the end. It's hilarious if I just write all is saved and the world is new. Like I have no clue, right? Like seriously. I have 13 sticky notes. I need 2 more. I'm going to have like 15 big plot points, and then those have to be pushed out. If I can get 15 plot points, and some of those more dramatic ones might get 2 chapters, then I'm good. It's going to be over I'm going to go ahead and put this down. It's going to be over the Christmas break, because my Mac is a teacher like me, and she can't just keep disappearing on her students, because the principal would probably not like that. It's like, you got to call in for a substitute, and it might be really hard to do when you're time traveling. So they just got out for the Christmas break. I got to think about those things. And I've got another yellow. And I'm just putting a final obstacle. Some issue has to happen. Like, I literally don't know. It's hilarious. I'm like, okay, somebody's got to have a problem, and it's got to be one of these characters. Okay. And my daddy's name was Bill. So the character that I introduced in A Magical Christmas Wedding, named after my dad. And then Bill is going to be in this one too. So, okay, I've got it all done. But there's too many red. There's too many oranges. So I'm going to start trying to do my intensity pieces. Kind of like so there's a little bit of panic early on. I am doing alternate POVs. This worked really well for me in this last book. Violet Montgomery. I can just hear them talking in my head already. Mother, this is my friend Mac. Mac, this is my mom, Violet Montgomery. And that's my sweet baby sister Margaret. Okay, so she would be, let me try to think. I've got to do ages. So that's what I'm kind of doing now. I'm going to a new page, and I'm just going to kind of do like characterization pieces. And I want her to be, it's a new age romance. So it's going to be 15 years later. is going to be 1970. So it's going to be in the Vietnam War. My dad was multiple tours, Silver Star, Purple Heart. So I can honor my dad's story more in this one. Okay, so now I have my time period, because I had no clue about this before I started. So mags is 25. Okay. That'll work too, because I already got I sent out the cover and I asked my writer friends, a graphic designer, my Aunt Dot, who is my first to see everything, how old do you think these characters are? And my aunt was like, she's close to 30. I was like, what? She looks early 20s to me. And I was like, oh no, am I wrong? And then Solomon was like early 20s and then 25. And then she's a little older. So I was like, okay, because there's a range here. So I'm going for a mature 25-year-old. It's on my cover. And so now I realized I don't want it to be YA because I need to shift the time period. So now it's New Age. So now that changes it up. And so let me go see what I wrote on my Nano board for my Nano project. Just fantasy, adventure, romance, Christian romance. That's all I wrote. I'm good then. I'm good. Okay. My last Nano, I wrote 70,177, which was the Sunday Killer. And so that's going to be kind of like my goal for what I'm doing for a magical Christmas wedding was around that. It was like 70,000. I'm going to keep it in this same format just so they can sit on the shelf together. But I really do like my smaller 5x8s than the 6x9s. But because I have these as my adults, I have them these are my middle grades. And my YAs are bigger. So it's like I did them like that. So what I want to do is I do have some new books that I'm going to be reading to prep for the podcast for new interviews coming up in October. And then I've got a Soul Food Book Club coming up, but I'm going to be working in horror. I do want to reread this book because it's been a while. I read it when it first was published again, and I had the book in my hand, and then I have not read it since. So I'm probably going to get back into that so I can capture Mac's voice again and Jordan's voice. I need to spend some time with them again. But I'm really glad that I jumped on here and I got now my new direction. And I love this Jamboard because it allows me to always come back and revisit these sticky notes and then go, oh, well, I remember when I said it was going to be YA, and now look at it. Now I'm going to put today's date on it because if it changes. So 1970 is it. That is the year that my husband was born. So I call that a very good year. All right. That's going to be perfect. And 15 years goes by for Max, and days go by for Mac. All right. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And I just want to let you know that when you start to organize and plot, there are so many resources out there that can help you do this work. My friend Tish Bouvier, she has her own YouTube channel. You can go check her out. She's a haiku poet and a cozy mystery author, and she's using the snowflake method to help her prep and plot, and she loves it. And she's doing that on her channel. And I did the Sunday Killer. I started with the 3-act structure with a hodgepodge of that and Save the Cat Beats. And I walked away from that with the Fae of Averly doing the 3-act structure. And I love that course on Readsy. If you want to take that, that is free. And then you can get this really great edible chart that you could use. I personally just like the image slapped up on a Jamboard, and then I start my sticky note adventure. So what it looks like now is completely what it's not going to look like at the end. I already know that because the Sunday Killer was proof that even though I did a loose outline of Act 3, so much more evolved and grew as I moved through that and was surrounding myself in the genre too. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. So if you guys have some holiday romance suggestions for me, I would love for you to email me, JenLowryWrites@gmail.com, and say, you got to read this book. Or get on the Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at JenLowryWrites and say, look, this is my favorite. I want to tell you guys the first one that I'm going to be reading to kick off the holiday season and get you ready is A Heartfelt Christmas Promise on September the 24th, which is tomorrow. And I have pre-ordered this joker since May 30th, so that lets you know. But Nancy Nagel, her book is coming out tomorrow. So, oh wait, this title will be auto-delivered to your Kindle on September 29th. Oh, September 29th, not tomorrow. Sorry, Nancy. Next Tuesday. And A Perfect Gift That Captures the Spirit of the Season. USA Today bestselling author Nancy Nagel's A Heartfelt Christmas Promise celebrates the holidays. Small town traditions and the generosity of love between two lost souls who find everything they ever wanted in each other. Absolutely sounds divine. I cannot wait to read it. And so that one is coming out September 29th. I've already purchased it. So that's going to be my first holiday book. So I'm going to be reading holiday books and horror books all at the same time. That remind y'all of Tim Burton just a little bit, A Nightmare Before Christmas, because that's going to be what I'm going to be doing. That's hilarious. That's one of my favorite movies. There we go. I'm going to be like exploring that. So let me be maybe Sally, or I don't know, let me be Jack, the Pumpkin King. And I'm going to be balancing all of it somehow, some way. With the help of the Holy Spirit and all of my writing friends around me to help me with these prayers and my kids as motivation, and we'll get this thing done. And this is what I wanted to do tonight, was plot. And so I feel very accomplished that I have done this thing. So, all right, guys, I'm back on it. I'm going back over it. I know where I'm starting. I know what the inciting incident is. I know the second thoughts and the climax. So I'm really good for Act 1. And once I get the writing that, I feel like hopefully everything else will fall into place. I do have some key plot points that could push the book along in Act 2 already written down. And then in Act 3, it's hilarious. It says, I actually wrote final obstacle. Some issue has to happen. Like, I actually wrote that on the sticky note. Well, we shall see. Because you guys know that I am more of a pantser than a plotter. So I'm a planter for a little bit. I'm going to try it for this book too. And I will continue to do so. And I'm going to get back into a magical Christmas wedding. So if you guys want to read this with me, or if you would like to get some freebies that are going to be given away soon, because I am sending out my newsletter this weekend, make sure that you sign up for my newsletter, because I am always giving away ebooks and audiobooks. So you do not want to miss part of that. And I'm always giving out my raffles to all of my newsletter subscribers and giving the insider news there. So I hope that you have a blessed one, and I will talk with all of you guys later. Bye.